What drives a person to chase the ultimate thrill, to push the boundaries of human potential, and risk it all for the sake of history? Some dream of conquering Mount Everest, others of diving into the deepest ocean trenches. But for one man, the sky, literally, was not the limit. Nick Piantanida, a fearless daredevil with an unstoppable passion for skydiving, embarked on an extraordinary mission to break the world record for the highest parachute jump ever attempted. It was a feat that could have put him in the history books alongside the greatest pioneers of aviation and space exploration. But what started as a daring adventure soon spiraled into an unforeseen tragedy that would shake the world. What went wrong? Why did his final jump end in disaster? And what lessons can we learn from this heartbreaking pursuit of greatness? Stay with us as we uncover the incredible story of Nick Piantanida, his rise, his ultimate attempt, and the devastating fall that ended it all. Nick Piantanida wasn't your average thrill-seeker. Born in 1932 in New Jersey, he grew up in an era where the sky was seen as the next frontier for exploration. Unlike professional test pilots or astronauts backed by government programs, Nick was an ordinary man with an extraordinary dream. His early years were spent working odd jobs, playing semi-professional basketball, and running a pet store. But none of these paths could satisfy his burning desire for adventure. Then he discovered skydiving, a sport still in its infancy at the time. From the moment he made his first jump, he was hooked. By the 1960s, Piantanida had already earned a reputation for pushing limits. He attempted dangerous parachute jumps, often testing the very edges of what was considered possible. But he had his eyes on something even bigger. He wanted to break the world record for the highest parachute jump, a title held by U.S. Air Force Captain Joe Kittinger at the time. What made Nick different was that he was a civilian. No government funding, no NASA or military support, just raw ambition, a self-built team, and the courage to take on the sky alone. Nick's plan was both simple in concept and terrifying in execution. He would ascend in a high-altitude balloon to over 120,000 feet, reaching the very edge of space, before stepping out into the void and free-falling back to Earth. During his descent, he aimed to break the sound barrier, a feat that had never before been attempted by a non-military skydiver. The project, known as Project Stratojump, was an audacious and highly dangerous endeavor, driven solely by his passion for exploration and record-breaking ambition. Despite the excitement surrounding his mission, success would not come easily. His first attempt was cut short when his parachute deployed prematurely, forcing an early descent. Undeterred, he tried again, only to be thwarted by equipment failure that made the second attempt impossible. Each setback only fueled his determination, pushing him to refine his preparations and improve his strategy. On May 1st, 1966, Nick and his team prepared for one final attempt. As the first rays of sunlight illuminated the launch site, he suited up in his pressurized gear, checked his life support systems, and climbed into the small gondola attached to his massive helium-filled balloon. Slowly and steadily, he began his ascent, rising higher and higher into the thin atmosphere. Below him, the world shrank away, and he was soon surrounded by the deep, dark expanse of the upper atmosphere. At 57,600 feet, disaster struck. Something went terribly wrong. A sudden and catastrophic failure disrupted his mission, leaving Nick and his team in a dire situation. What had begun as a historic attempt to push the limits of human endurance quickly spiraled into a life-threatening emergency, one from which he would never recover. While Nick was still ascending, ground control suddenly lost communication with him. The team was confused. Was it a minor radio failure, or was something worse happening? Moments later, they heard a terrifying sound, the rush of escaping air. The pressurization in Nick's helmet had failed. Without proper pressurization, The human body cannot survive at such altitudes. The near-vacuum conditions would cause unconsciousness within seconds, and if not corrected immediately, death would be inevitable. Unable to respond, Nick was left helpless as his balloon continued to drift higher before ground control remotely triggered its descent. As the balloon made its way back to Earth, the reality became clear. Nick Piantanida had suffered severe brain damage due to the lack of oxygen. He was still alive, but he would never fully recover. Nick Piantanida was rushed to the hospital, but the damage was irreversible. The accident had left him in a deep coma, and despite every effort to save him, he remained unconscious for 4 agonizing months. On August 29, 1966, his battle came to a heartbreaking end as he passed away, leaving behind an unfulfilled dream and a legacy of extraordinary bravery. His attempt to set a new skydiving record had turned into a tragedy, but his relentless determination and fearless pursuit of the unknown cemented his place in history. Though he never officially secured the record he sought, Nick Piantanida's legacy remains undeniable. His fearless determination and willingness to chase the impossible ensure that he will always be remembered as a pioneer of the skies. Piantanida's story serves as a powerful reminder of the extraordinary ambition of the human spirit and the risks that come with pushing the boundaries of exploration. His bold efforts, though ultimately unsuccessful, paved the way for future high-altitude skydivers and extreme records pioneers. His daring missions laid the groundwork for technological advancements and safety measures that would benefit those who followed in his footsteps. Decades later, his courage still resonates, inspiring figures such as Felix Baumgartner, whose record-breaking Red Bull Stratos jump in 2012 owed much to the foundation Piantanida helped establish. Nick's story is one of ambition, risk, and tragic loss, but also of inspiration. What do you think? Was Nick's attempt worth the risk? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our next video, where we'll explore another incredible but tragic record. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.